We're going to be making an embroidered pillow using your muslin fabric. So iron your fabric first, fold it in half, and then you'll measure a 15 by 15 inch square. So the edges of the fabric do not fray while you're working with it. You want to put a zigzag finish on it. So go to your machine and change the zigzag to 5 and make the stitch length a little bit smaller, maybe make it 2, and finish the edges of your fabric. You want the zigzag to cover the edge of the fabric, so line up the edge of the fabric with the inside corner of the presser foot or right next to the first part of the feet. So zigzag the edges to clean the raw finish so it won't unravel, and then go ahead and iron your fabric again after that. When you'll have your pattern in class, and we'll go over all the important instructions, and I'm going to show you some of that in this tutorial. Please write your name on the pattern when you get it. Last year I did Lisa Petrucci, she's an artist, and this year I'm going to do a garden variety. When you open up your embroidery transfer, you'll see that there's a big piece of white paper here. That's to protect after the printing so that it doesn't affect this part right here. You don't have to print this whole thing on your pillow. You can cut around these shapes and do the design in different ways. Just be aware that if you cut around this snail and you leave this on here, this printing is also transferable ink, so remove that before you cut around the shapes. After you open up your design and you've written your name on everything, then you start cutting around the shapes. When you cut around the shapes, you want to be sure to leave as much extra paper as possible, because you need that when you iron it on so you have something to hold on to. In the past, I've had students cut around and they try to cut like really close around the shape, and then you don't have any paper to hold on to when you want to do your design. So be sure to leave as much extra paper as you can. I know there's sometimes not a lot. Then what you want to do is start laying out your design. Just a moment. Here's a rough sketch of my layout. I wanted to do little dancing devil girl in the middle, and then I wanted to do cat lady with the flames at the top, and then I had 2 flowers and a couple of flames and 2 flowers at the bottom. You don't have to put everything on at the same time. You can start off with something basic like that, and then you can always add more later. So originally I just had the cat, dancing devil girl, cat, and 2 flowers and 2 flowers and 2 flames. But the pieces can be used more than one time. So after I did those initial parts, then I started to add more, and I could add maybe another flame down here later. And so you can add more later. So just start off with a basic design, and if you want to add more, you can. When you're being creative and thinking about your design, you might take your pieces and say, oh look, little poodle dogs going here, little cats going there, and there's a cute flower above them. But remember, when you iron it on, you have to flip the pieces over. So in this case, they would be going opposite of each other. So when you're doing your layout, remember that when you iron it on, they're this way. So you may want to turn the pieces upside down in our mind, but when you take them off, they'll be right side up. Before you put any of the heat transfers onto your pillow design, get a little scrap of your fabric and do a test. So you want the iron should be on high. We're all doing the same thing, and you don't want steam, so no steam is with steam off of there. And you want to heat up your fabric. Having heat on the fabric will help the transfer to transfer better. Cut a little scrap of fabric and do a test before you start to lay down your design on your pillow. You want to heat up the fabric beforehand. I think I just showed you that. with no steam. And you don't want the pattern to shift around or it could get blurry. So this is a little acorn, and I have some extra paper here. I just heated up the fabric, going to place it face down, and put the iron on top. And don't move it too quickly back and forth. Just put a little pressure on and go like 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, and then you can peel back a little. Oops. And there we go. That one came out pretty dark. So that worked. Let's see if it went through. See, a little bit went through to the press cloth. So that came out good. It's okay if it comes out a little bit light. That's fine, because your thread will cover that up. And if part of it doesn't come out exactly, you can always just take a little pencil and draw that part in. When you place your embroidery pattern, please be sure not to place it too close to the edge. Remember that you need seam allowance. And this beautiful little pattern would have been cut off, so maybe start in the middle and work your way out. Please have much joy and much fun working on your embroidery, because handmade for you by me with love. That's what it's all about. Lots of love. Please have much joy and much fun working on your embroidery, because handmade for you by me with love. That's what it's all about. Lots of love. This is why I want to do a garden theme this year.